In the keyboard hobby, there's often what enthusiasts consider as arbitrary price brackets that define the quality of the board that you're going to get. And it's very rare that a keyboard delivers exceptional quality within its price bracket, that is redefining the bracket as a whole. So today we're just going to be taking a look at one of the prime examples of innovation lately, the Neo65.
Look at some new me, switched it up, who's this? Booty brown, new jeans, so fresh, so clean.
The Neo65 is ridiculously cheap for an entry enthusiast board, let alone one that's highly configurable with different weight and plate options, as well as supporting wireless. And sure, the price does bait you a little bit because $79 only covers the plateless and soldered option, but I was gonna run it plateless anyways, so you know, it is what it is. Just to let you guys know the specs of the build real quick, I'm running plateless with TX stabs, and also, by the way, I'm soldering Pearlios into this board. I know it's kind of funny because the switches cost more than the board itself. And here I tried to do something cool with 2 keycap sets because I saw a lot of cool influencers doing it and it didn't work out for me. So you know what? We're just leaving white on black on. It's true classic. Still, I really like how all of the case colors are the same price. Like you can get any color and it would be $79 plus ship, which is just crazy. Like my groceries cost more than $79. Like I can buy 2 of these for what I sold my QK65 for last year. Speaking of which, let's compare this board to the reigning champ of the previous generation, the QK65. In terms of weight and heft, the Neo65 appears to be a lot lighter, both visually and physically, with the slammed height and thinner bezels really adding to the sleek feel. And that's mainly due to the much more straightforward construction, where the QK65 consisted of 3 parts: the inner shell, the outer shell, and also the weight. The Neo65 only has 2, taking advantage of a drop-in PCB. Even then, there's actually 2 ways to mount this board, either with the gummy O-ring or the tadpole-like gasket mount that, you know, just fits onto the bottom of the case. Just like the QK65, what's visible on the outside is just 1 piece of metal, which at this price point, even if it was 2 pieces of metal, I don't think anybody cares that much about anodizing matching. But in my opinion, it just makes the board look a lot cleaner and more sleek. Where the QK65 fell short though, I feel like the Neo65 made up for immensely. You see, the original QK was actually made in a time when OWL Labs and therefore QWERTY keys weren't too experienced at making boards that did not require foam. And over time, with more additions to the QK series and other projects, I feel like QWERTY keys has gotten a lot better at not needing foam. And the Neo65 just shows how far they've come. Yes, it still sounds good with foam, but it also sounds good without foam. But for me, the biggest change is that the gaskets are now mounted from the PCB and not the plate, which doesn't really make that much of a difference when you're running a plated build, but makes the world's difference because it can be run plateless. I've been trying plateless boards at meetups and using my friends, so I have been eagerly anticipating this moment. So let's talk about the plateless experience. For those of you that have used plateless, like, you can click off the video. We're done here, right? But if you haven't used plateless before, like, it's not like it's ultra flexy, you know, but I can say that the flex is truly different compared to the typical flex that you get with a plate. It's almost like you have a deeper connection with the board because you can feel the buzzy feedback in one hand as you're typing on the other, and it's almost like the board is speaking to you as you're caressing it. Every action.
I don't care.
But even then, I still hear a lot of beginners asking if they should get this board, even, you know, not plateless. I'm gonna just say it right now, support consumerism, buy the board, thank me later. Yeah? Okay, that's it. Get out of here.